I want to go to young Daniel first. Another capitulation, another bottle job, another defeat, and I'm glad. I suppose you're glad you're back in America and didn't witness that in person.
Listen, I have had absolutely enough with these clowns. You know what THFC stands for? Tottenham Hotspur Footballing Circus. Because they're all a load of clowns. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. We go 2-0 up. 2-0 up. We have 45 minutes to defend. 45 minutes. And these players that get paid to millions to defend can't defend. They can't do the thing that they get paid millions to do. It's a disgrace. Hugo Lloris with that third goal. The ball's in your first post. They teach 4-year-old goalkeepers that. That's the first rule of goalkeeping, to cover your first post. And you can't do that. We are a joke of a football club, and we're always going to be bottlers. We're always going to be bottlers until we get rid of this ownership. This ownership is an absolute joke. And anyone that's saying Conte out with all these individual mistakes on display, that first half was Conte ball. That first half was Conte ball. Then we go 2-0 up, and he says, all right, lads, we're 2-0 up. 2-0 up against Manchester City. Defend. You have to defend for 45 minutes. Can you do that? Yes, boss. They go out and bottle the bag. They bottle the bag. I have had enough with all of these clowns. Emerson Royale, he's the thing with Disney where when you go on the line and you get the fast pass and you can skip the line. That's what Emerson Royale is. He's the fast pass. So you can skip the line when you go against him. When he's marking you, you can just skip the line. It's an absolute joke. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. And I had enough with all these fans saying Conte out. I've had enough with all these fans saying Pochettino in. Is not going to solve the problem. The overall problem is Daniel Levy. We have had managers after managers after managers after managers after managers fail at this football club. It's not on the managers. It's not on the managers. If we were as ruthless as we are on the managers, we would have won millions of trophies by now. It's an absolute joke. Put the blame where it should go. The players and the board. Conte has won trophies all around the world. He doesn't have to prove himself. They have to prove themselves. They haven't won crap. They haven't won absolute crap. And for when it goes to Harry Kane, I love him. I absolutely love him. But please leave Tottenham. Because if you want to win trophies and you want to become the striker that you have the potential to become, you need to leave Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And you need to go to either Manchester United or another football club. But you need to go. You need to go to become a legendary English football striker. I've had enough. I've honestly had enough.
Dan, you're bang on about the Harry Kane bit. He has to go and move on. I mean, it was another terrible performance. Jerome, how much do you agree with what young Daniel had to say there?
Totally agree with him. There's nothing else to say. Daniel, how old are you?
14.
14. Look, let me tell you already. I'm 40. I've been supporting this club for a very, very long time. And what you're suffering right now has been years, over 30 years for me, of suffering the same as you. What I'm going to tell you right now is you're still young, man. Choose something else. No. Choose another team, because all you're going to get right now from them is suffering. That's all it's going to be. I'm telling you right now, because first of all, we've got owners but will never put us where we should be. We will never be a top club with Enoch at the end. Trust me, it's never going to happen. The only cup we ever got was from a manager that almost got us relegated. This is how good our owners are. Just remember, the cup we got was from a manager that almost got us relegated. So yeah, that tells us already what kind of owners we've got. And it's not good, man. I'm telling you already, Daniel. You're still young. If you want to support another team, no one's going to blame you. No one's ever going to blame you.
Listen, because I say this because when I come on the show a lot, the whole comment section goes, Daniel, you still got time to pick another club. I've picked Tottenham Hotspur, and this is my football club until I die. However, I will not settle for mediocrity, and I am going to London to protest soon. I'm going to London to protest soon against these owners. They have to go. They have to go. And any Tottenham Hotspur football club, if you want to win trophies, if you want to put Tottenham Hotspur on the map, also protest. Also, everything you put on Twitter, put Daniel Levy out, put Enoch out, and get them out of this football club. It's a joke. It's a joke. As you said, Jerome, one trophy in 21 years, and it was a Carling Cup. It's changed the name by now. It's actually changed the name by now. It's a joke. It's honestly a joke. We have to get these owners out. I'm not going to change clubs, though. This is my football club until I die. But it's an absolute, it's mediocrity. It's absolute mediocrity.
It certainly is. It certainly is. In terms of the game, Orchie, What went wrong for you? Because you had a 2-0 lead.
Mate, I
Relatively,
know. Like I promise you, I was not even. I mean, obviously, I was happy, but I just knew that I thought City are going to go in. Guardiola's going to put a rocket up all of their asses, and then they're going to come out and they were going to absolutely blitz us. And I just know that when you got, you know, when you got Emerson Royale, when you got Dyer, when you got, Davies, as much as he might be a very nice guy, these guys are all past their sell-by date. And some reason this season, or especially the last couple of months, and Lloris as well. I mean, he's definitely dipping seriously, worryingly at the moment. And I just knew, the one shining light I thought today, especially in the first half, obviously you saw the difference that Bentancur makes in midfield. In a lot of the gameplay, I thought we handled the first half all right. We weren't amazing, but we weren't poor either. And then again, and to be honest, recently, Conte's decisions, and I'm just thinking, with his selection, like against Arsenal, all right, not Sessignon, Bissouma. Like, why do you not start with Bissouma? Why did you not start with Perisic? And okay, today Perisic in the second half as well, he was shocking. But in the first half, he wasn't too bad. It's just, everything's just going wrong at the moment. But I completely agree with, ENIC has been there for a long time. And I think a few weeks ago, we were on this, we were on another chat after a game. I think that we lost. And I don't know. I don't understand what, at the end of the day, look, a manager gets, at the end of the day, like Conte, if he kept losing and losing, he loses his job. Whoever he is, it doesn't matter what manager it is. If they keep losing, they're going to lose their job. Well, Levy, he's been at that club for nearly 20 years now. And what 22. Is, at the end of the day, what is every year at the end of the season, he must also get, by either Joe Lewis or ENIC or whatever. And what is the requirements for him? Is it just making money? If that is the case, then we're fucked. Excuse my language. But it should be for a club like Tottenham. If you're investing all that money in a training ground, to have one of the best training grounds in club football, to have one of the best stadiums in club football, and then you bring in a manager like Conte, what the hell are you doing? Obviously, the point should be to win something. And if you're going to win something, look at what Bowley's doing. He's already spent, nearly 200 million? And, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to go out there, and we said this time after time after time, they need not bring in players for the future and all this kind of thing. You need to it clearly hasn't worked for us over 10 years, 20 years, whatever, 30 years since the Premier League has started. You need to change. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting a different outcome. It's clearly not working. So you need to either sell the club. You've already brought, Tottenham is one of the best run clubs in the world. Definitely. It makes a ton of money. So it can't be that difficult to sell it. If you're not going to invest, if you're not going to go and blow, then you need to hand it over to somebody else. Either sell it to the Saudis or whatever, or the, or the Qatar people or whatever. But if you're surely now, the point of Tottenham Hotspur should be, now that you've got the training ground sorted out, now you've got the stadium sorted out, because before their excuse was, all right, we had White Hart Lane, which was 36,000 capacity. And with that, we cannot compete with the big teams because we don't have the income. We don't have you don't even have that excuse anymore. You've got one of the best club stadiums in the world. You've more than doubled your, capacity. There is no more effing excuses. You got, boxing going on there. You got NFL. You got Lady Gaga and Guns N' Roses having concerts and stuff. You are making a ton of money. And so you need to now put your hands in your pocket and buy some players, support Conte. And if it doesn't work, all right, fair enough. But at least you can say that you tried. But I think this is why I think all the Spurs supporters need to get together. And I think definitely we need to absolutely kick ENIC in the nuts. We got to go out there, it's so annoying. It's so frustrating. The window's closing in 10 days. And like you said, we're, obviously Conte wants Porro, right? Go and fucking get, it's 45 million euros. That's 38 million pounds or 37 million pounds. Pay the fucking money, get that guy in so that we at least sort out.
The crazy thing is, Archie, you've paid more than that in the last couple of years in managerial redundancies, if that makes sense. It is a shambles, and it comes from the ownership first. I look at Conte as well, and for me, I'm saying, I tweeted it the other day, not like some inside knowledge nonsense. He's getting sacked and/or the contract isn't being renewed, which means the rest of your season's a write-off because Antonio Conte, he'll sabotage. He'll speak out of turn in press conferences. He'll fall out with players. And it also means Harry Kane ain't signing that new deal. And you will end up having to sell him in the summer. And so even some of the people like journalists connected to your club and intermediaries are starting to slowly talk about that. So it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. This super chat here actually says, Kane leaving, Son dead, Cooley will not stay, midfield shambles, defensive shambles, keeper shambles, manager shambles. Spurs have not seen the worst of it yet. The downfall has just begun. And it could get worse this season because at least you were in and around top four. A couple more defeats in the next week or two, you could be sitting 7th, 8th in the league, legit. Let's do some more of these super chats. I want to speak to Brendan, of course, V here from a City point of view as well. I've never in my life seen a fan tell another fan the truth. Find another team. You're young and still have time is what Israel has got to say here. Levy is rich, but not wealthy enough to compete with these breed of owners. Nearly his entire net wealth is the value of
It's not
Spurs.
Levy, though. It's Joe Lewis.
Yeah, Joe Lewis. He's only a 20 to 25% owner. Joe Lewis is, I mean, I'm just going to Google it now. Let me just, Joe Lewis.
The guy's a serious billionaire, mate. The guy's a serious billionaire.
Joe Lewis is worth 6.5 billion. But the thing is, also, if you look at the organization that Enix, Enix valuation is, it's a bit like with the Fenway Sports Group. If you look at them as Todd Bowley's not, I don't even think Todd Bowley's I think he's a billionaire, but I think he's only worth 2 or 3 bill, but the consortium's worth more. Spurs have got enough money. This is the irony of it. Even the billionaire owners and state owners can only pump £35 million a year into their own cash. All billionaires can afford £35 million a year. They can all afford it if they want to. If you've got 6.5 thousand million in your bank account, you can. It's like if I've got 6.5 grand cash, I can pay £35 for something. Yeah. That's the equivalence of it. It's pocket change to these people, and they earn that back in a year easy through, the world and whatever they're doing. It's a nonsense. No billionaire is poor. Let me just say that. No billionaire is poor.